Welcome to the show. It is a horrible show, a terrible show, absolutely the worst. And getting even worse every single day. We are here by ourselves, just me and my wife. I don't have anyone else with me. I'm kind of missing them. I can't wait for them to get back. Well, it's gonna be a while, but let's go ahead and get this crap going. So, there's been a lot of news. We didn't do the show last week, so we have roughly 2 weeks worth of news of things that have happened. I've tried to filter out basically what we can go over in the little bit of time we're gonna have tonight.
And we had a streaker at General Conference.
Yeah, that's a freak. I don't get it. Why streaking? Like, seriously though, babe, do you have any idea? Like, why at football games, soccer games seem to get it a lot for some reason.
Well, I know one guy.
Baseball games.
One guy did it because he put a bet against it. No one else did it, so he did it himself, so he won the bet.
Okay,
but
well,
this was at a church event.
That makes sense. I'm just saying, like, you become a red dot when you do that. You get put on a list, and it's not a list you want to be on. And it's just like, why do it? But apparently that guy was particularly creepy and bad. Did it right in front of children because he's a piece of crap. But
so he might end up on the sexual registry.
Mm-hmm. That's what I just referenced when I said he becomes a red dot. He's going to be a red dot now. We'll have another red dot in Utah. Great. We have a lot of those, and I hate it. We should work on increasing the maximum punishment.
Hey, I saw a post that apparently China may have executed 3 child rapists in the same day.
Well, I mean, at least China ain't half bad. They at least know who they need to execute, right? So, big news. Let's go ahead and hit this first article. Iran, U.S. set to begin peace talks under the shadow of turmoil in Lebanon is the headline that we get here from the Deseret News. As you heard, I mean, we had the conflict in Iran start. It's a war, let's be honest. But at the same time, the nice thing is it does seem to be coming to at least a temporary pause. We'll see if this ends up holding, if Iran's willing to come to an agreement with the U.S. But we got Hezbollah and Israel escalated cross-border attacks with thousands of projectiles fired in Lebanon and Israel. The conflict traces back decades, but fighting intensified after Hezbollah joined Hamas. Hamas's attack on Israel October 7th, if any of you guys remember that. And then disarmament failed. Basically, they hate each other, and they're really not going to stop hating each other. But that's the big news, though, is we've got a ceasefire right now between the United States and Iran. They are currently in negotiations. Looks like the United States will be trying to tariff oil coming out of the Strait of Hormuz. It looks like Iran wants to do the same thing, but sounds like it's going to be a non-starter for this administration for Iran to be benefiting that way. So, we'll see. This article I didn't really highlight much. It's just there's conflict always, eternally in the Middle East. That's the one thing the Middle East actually, I don't know if they would be able to handle themselves if they actually experience peace for once.
Well, it seems like they're mostly attacking Israel, not necessarily as much each other all the time, unless they think one is not as strong on following Islam as them.
It really doesn't matter. Let's just say hypothetically they eradicate Israel and everyone associated with it. They'll find another reason to fight. Everyone over there just hates everyone. They'll never get along. They'll never get along. But let's go ahead and move along. There's not too much to talk about here. We're just waiting for news on how the peace talks are going.
But this one's a serious issue. They might try to push this in other states as well.
Yeah, my goodness.
Why don't you talk to us about what they like to do in other countries or places?
This is what they've always done. in other countries and places throughout history. They come in, they get to a certain level of population. They start pushing their beliefs out there more. They utilize the laws in the nation against their own people. Like in our case, a lot of our laws that basically prevent discrimination based on religion, they're using that against us.
By calling Islamophobia. And some states are looking at passing laws that if you do something, you'll just be called that. They'll claim everything against them.
Yep. And then they, of course, they absolutely love just, once they get to a certain level of population, it's easier for them to get away with a lot of it. And so, and that's, yeah, and so then that's what they'll do is they'll freaking start blasting the call to prayer. And then after a while, and their population grows, then they're going to start complaining about the Christian churches ringing the bells while the call to prayer is going on. And then the Christian churches will get in trouble, but then by that point it'll be mostly Muslims in the government, and so they'll start passing laws against the Christian churches ringing their bells, because they don't hold to the moral principle of tolerance that our nation does.
Well, they don't like music, so they might consider a bell music.
I don't know about that with music. I don't think they have anything against music. It's just that it's a Christian bell. I mean, let's just be honest. The Crusades were just and moral. That's my hot take for the day. Crusades were just and moral, and it's not even... Actually, no, it's really not a hot take, because the original Robin Hood out of Disney, that put a positive light on the Crusades when the King Richard came back. King Richard the Lionheart came back. They put a positive light on the Crusades, like they should have. I mean, after 400 years of Islamist aggression into Europe, raping and pillaging their way across the countryside, it was justified. All right.
Yeah, but people don't ever hear that part of the history.
Nope.
So, here's this.
No, we only talk about what we did bad. We never talk about what the other people did.
The very, very top sentence.
Yeah.
They're trying to push.
Hey, y'all down there in Texas, did you know that the Alamo really was Islamic? Yeah, they're trying to change the history of the Alamo, which is absolutely bullcrap, because the history of the Alamo was actually... I think it's mentioned in this article, it was a Christian.
A Christian mission for...
Yeah, it was a Christian mission initially.
Native Americans.
It was a Christian mission initially down in... That's a mouthful to say those three words in a row. Down there into Mexico for the most part. It has come to our attention that an extensive lobbying effort is underway to have the Texas State Board of Education alter curriculum standards in a way that would diminish American and Texas history. The petitioners' efforts claim that Islam influenced our founding, culture, and way of life. For instance, the board recently responded to public testimony asserting that the Alamo is an Islamic building. I will give them a little credit. Islam did have a little bit of influence on our founding, babe. A little bit. Because Thomas Jefferson was the second president of the United States when the Tripoli pirates were abducting our people and our trade ships, and we went over there and we absolutely laid waste to the Muslims when they tried to tax us to give us our people back. That was actually kind of the foundation of American foreign policy. You screw with our people, we kill you.
And wasn't that also the start of our Navy, kind of, in a way?
No, our Navy was started way before that.
Okay, just
thinking. Way before that. We're talking like the first like 2 decades of our country's existence. Okay. So it's not really way before that. Our Navy was started before that, but it was started for the purpose of protecting our coast, but also protecting our trade routes too.
Okay. So let's continue.
Because
on
piracy
the
was a
article.
big issue back then, so navies were often used to go back and forth across trade routes just to help keep them secure.
Yeah, but I'm just saying those are transport ships. I'm actually just saying a militarized navy to protect
No,
us.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, we had a militarized navy back then.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So here we are.
It
right
wasn't
here.
very impressive, but it was a navy.
Must have done good enough. It beat them, and they were pirates.
Yeah, well, you can thank the Marine Corps for that. That's probably I think that's their first major victory for the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay.
Such claims are intended to introduce sensationalized or false history into our curriculum, and it is not the board's responsibility to accommodate flagrant lies or cultivate serious claims of their belonging. Members of the Islamic community have long demanded positive portrayals of their religion. You know, you want a positive portrayal of your religion, do something nice for once.
Well, here's this part.
Do something nice.
Which for advocates for the beheading of those.
But I get it, like, there's a great video where as a mathematician, he does a whole bunch of equations, but then he does one simple equation on purpose. He does it wrong. And the entire classroom just starts laughing and giggling and whatnot. And he points out, like, how you can do everything right. You can do the most complicated things right. But then even if you just make a tiny, simple mistake just once on something simple or even complicated, that's what everyone focuses on. Like, I get it. If you as a group, you have this long history of good things, but then you do one thing messed up, everyone's going to focus on that. But guess what? I don't know of any good Islam has done. And I've done some research in history. I haven't found anything. It may be there in a book that's still dusty because no one picks it up, but I haven't heard of anything.
They're just right now faking it until they get in charge, and then they'll change things.
Mm-hmm. Fake it till you make it, baby. To the point, some have claimed that Muslims were active and integral in the founding of America. The Alamo was originally a Spanish mission started by Catholic missionaries and was one of the early establishments in Texas to be used to convert American tribes to Christianity.
I'm trying to think.
I'd be willing to bet money that it was...
Who died at the Alamo?
Everybody?
Was it Daniel Boone? Or...
I don't know, but I know everyone who was there died.
I think it might have been Daniel Boone.
Was it Daniel Boone?
It was one of those frontiersmen. He died there. One of the 2 or 3 important ones.
Yeah?
One of them did.
Well, there's only like 3 important ones, and 2 of your brothers are named after 2 different ones. So chances are a 2 and 3 chance one of your brothers is named after someone who died at the Alamo.
Okay. So here.
That's a great heritage for a name, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Alamo has absolutely nothing to do with Islam. They have no right to change the history. These are just some quotes from people talking about this, making statements, or was this at the council meeting, I guess?
An online commenter about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wife sourced this article, and
Yeah.
I liked it, so I kept it. But she already highlighted everything, which is why there's a lot of colors instead of just one simple color. There's
I like
a lot
to
of
do
color.
yellow for quotes, but this is not exactly a direct quote from one of the state officials.
Yeah.
Green.
Texas education officials are facing pressure from leftist activists, quote, to place more positive references to Islam in the state's history curriculum.
It's history. They were not part of the history.
That's the thing. Like, well, the state's history curriculum, it could just be the curriculum for also world history that they're talking about that's in that state. There's,
yeah, but specifically the state.
but
Texas, they're focused on Texas's history.
I mean, that's the thing. They're trying to frickin' change the history of the Alamo, which doesn't make any sense. But whatever.
Yep.
State officials are reviewing social studies standards, quote, amid a push from Muslim advocacy groups which claim current proposals are exclusionary and Islamophobic. Well, People wouldn't be Islamophobic if there was random, spontaneous human combustion happening inside your religion, okay? Students should be taught age-appropriate facts and hard truths. You don't want hard truths. Is this the frickin'... Even when it is uncomfortable, Islam did not... Okay, this is the right people. Islam did not play a role in the founding or development of Texas, and to say it would... To say so would be an outright lie. Alright. Yeah. No. They don't want to hear the hard truths this person has to say, basically.
It is... They should not be here trying to change history. That's one thing you and I talk about all the time. We were not happy a couple years ago when they were ripping down Confederate soldier statues, okay? Maybe they were on the losing side, but they were fighting for their states' rights.
Well, the thing is...
rip away our history. We have to remember it.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is it's part of our history, and we shouldn't shy away from it. And if anything, it's more important to even put some of our ugly history out there in front of us.
Yeah.
Because it helps us remind us where we were and where we've come from to where we are at today.
And a lot of those statues, some of them were at grave sites, and they have all been declared United States veterans.
Well,
you don't desecrate those things.
But also, a lot of them are just taken down indiscriminately. Like, for example, Robert E. Lee. Pulling down Robert E. Lee's statues just because he fought for the Confederacy, you don't understand who the man was. You really don't. Like how they changed the name of the base, Fort Lee, Virginia, to whatever it is now. If I understand correctly, they're actually apparently going to be changing it back to Fort Lee, which I'm really happy about because it's named after Robert E. Lee. And the whole point is he was a very good man, an honorable soldier, and he was a good loser. When he lost the war, he submitted to his betters and said, this is how it's going to be now. He himself, I don't know if he had slaves or not, but I do know there is a story of him at a church. I think it was in 1865, so just after the war ended. He was going to church, and while at that church, a black man who no one had seen there before came in to take the Eucharist. Now, normally in these churches, these southern churches, whites would take the Eucharist first, blacks would take it second. But this man, this black man who showed up, went to take the Eucharist first, and everyone was kind of in shock, but no one was saying anything at first. And Robert E. Lee was there, and he stood up and he went up and knelt next to him and took the Eucharist with him. And that very act, he affirmed the rights and the laws of the victors. He's like, we lost, and this is how it's going to be now. And he wasn't a sore loser. He took it on the chin, and after that, he played by the rules.
But also playing into them trying to change history, you also have. They are not really teaching a whole lot about the Holocaust. Some places are just kind of making it seem like it never happened.
Yeah.
They're changing stuff like that. Things that we need to know. This happened. We need to keep people. We need to inform people about it so it never happens again.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's a friend of mine. He's not a Holocaust denier. He does believe that it did happen. But I when talking with him about it, it's like I told him, like, look, I could agree that the numbers of how many people were killed may not be accurate. Because in general, we try to either inflate or deflate numbers to always make one side look good or the other. The person who writes the history is the victor. But the thing is, we don't really have a reason to fake the numbers, too. First of all, that's kind of the first thing, and two, it's like the total number, the total exact number of how many people were killed doesn't really matter that much when you look at what was actually being done to them. It's like whether you did it to 1 million or 6 million or whatever number you want to pull out of your butt for it, you still did these terrible, horrible things with the gas chambers, the ovens, the railways, the terrible living conditions,
the hard part is
the low quality food or moldy food or bad food or even no food in many cases.
in some places, I think you can actually know they are telling the truth about the number, because certain places had a book and they recorded the names.
Yeah.
And then they took pictures. So some places, okay, maybe the numbers could have been fluffed a little bit, but a lot of it was accurate. And then they would
was
the number on each person. You'd have to start with someone.
No, there was a lot of record keeping. That's actually one thing the Germans were actually pretty damn good at, was record keeping. That's also how they tracked down a lot of the Jews, was through their record keeping. But you can thank IBM for that, by the way, sponsors of that party. But when you think about it, though, too, it's like, as I said, the actual number I don't think really matters as much as to the fact that we know it happened, and we know it was absolutely an extremely devastating event to the Jewish population worldwide, because there was a lot of Jews in Europe and a whole lot of them were killed because of this.
Yeah, it's
I think it was almost half the world population of Jews is what was killed.
And it's sad for us that we had the Japanese here in the United States in concentration camps, but then they started bringing concentration camps back in certain countries during COVID.
Yeah. Yep, they brought the concentration camps back in Australia and other countries for COVID.
Yeah, they'd send you that concentration camp for a couple weeks until you were...
It's funny because it's like these are Western nations who are predominantly these left-leaning countries, and they act like they're above all this stuff, but then when it came down to it, they were very quick to start creating concentration camps.
So Kyle, Simon of the Snowfield gave us a high five.
Simon of the Snowfield?
Yep, in the chat.
Oh, that's a cool name. I wish I had a cool name like that.
Yep.
I just got Odysseus Horse as my freaking username on places.
Yeah, but that's to mimic the Trojan horse.
I know. No, yeah, Trojan Horse was taken when I started doing gaming online, so I took some time to think about it because I didn't want to have stupid numbers in my name. And this was back before you could even have apostrophes and stuff. I don't know if you can have apostrophes still. I don't know. But no, I came up with Odysseus' horse is what it was. It was supposed to be Odysseus' horse, but I couldn't do an apostrophe. So it was just Odysseus' horse.
Okay, so you ready to go on to the next topic?
Yeah, let's move along.
Okay, next one.
So Zol Muhammad pleaded guilty to mail ballot fraud. Now running for Carrollton mayor.
In Texas.
You know, I gotta give him credit. He's got balls. I mean, look at that smile on his face. I gotta give him credit. He's got balls. He's got multiple felonies under his belt, and he's running for Carrollton mayor in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, respect where respect is due. He's got balls. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Let's get reading. A Carrollton candidate who confessed to committing voter fraud in a past election is back on the mayoral ballot this May. 2024, Zol Mohammed pleaded guilty. In 2024, you missed the end there. I just skipped it because it wasn't highlighted for some dumb reason. So in 2024, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Zol Mohammed pleaded guilty to more than 100 felony counts of voter fraud in his failed 2020 campaign for Carrollton mayor. But Mohammed is appealing parts of his conviction and sentencing, arguing that the sting operation used to trace a mail ballot fraud scheme back to him was constitutionally suspect, as is the court's condition of probation that bars Mohammed from engaging in election-related activities. You had mentioned, we were going over this before the show, whatever that means, constitutionally suspect.
Yeah.
Basically, what's probably happened is the method that they use to be able to trace the mail-in ballot fraud scheme back to him probably by technicality may or may not have required a warrant to do it, because they may have actually had to search up personal records or anything like that without and so the question will be I bet you the question in the case will be whether or not they actually needed a warrant or not for the case. That's probably what I would think that they mean by constitutionally suspect. Under Texas election law, a person is ineligible to be a candidate if they have been finally convicted of a felony or determined by a court to be mentally incapacitated. Neither applies to Mohammed, which is probably what I'm thinking of. Finally convicted of a felony.
I think he's supposed to have a court hearing right when the mayoral race is going.
Well, what probably finally convicted of a felony means is it probably means that the fact that he's appealing the case probably means that it's not finally done. It's not finalized.
Yeah.
So that's probably why. So by appealing the case, he was then able to actually get on the ballot.
My whole entire thing is, like right here, a jury sentenced him to 4 years in state prison while agreeing with his attorney that he is mentally ill. Why is it 2026 and he is not in prison? Because this is in 2024.
That is our legal process for you. It is slow, and it is like grinding gears on a dump truck. It's slow as hell, and no one likes hearing about it. It's just how it is. And I don't necessarily disagree that it should be slow. Like I have no problems with it being slow, because I don't want to unjustly punish innocent people.
Yeah, but this supposedly might be why they're tying it to him. He was caught with a box of fraudulently obtained mail ballots.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's interesting, though. Fraudulently obtained. They're not accusing the ballots themselves of being fraudulent. He's saying that he fraudulently obtained the ballots. So yeah, he used a fake ID.
Submitting forged ballot by mail applications, directing the ballots to the address of a commercial mailbox.
So they were probably legally issued ballots, but they were illegally obtained. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on.
Here's a ringling.
Yeah, let's move on to that next tab.
But there is the one funny part we wanted to look at down here.
Yeah.
So he, on the first day of his trial, there were prospective jurors, and he claims they coerced him to enter a guilty plea. And then this right here, the red.
It turned out the jurors' delay that day was due to dozens of Denton County residents receiving fake jury notices, which Denton County Sheriff's Office traced back to Mohammed.
And he's now facing
6 counts of impersonating a public servant, a third-degree felony. You know, I said it at the start of this article. Give credit where credit is due. This guy's got balls. This is like that guy I was watching the clip where he frickin' shows up to a court hearing over a case of him having stolen a car. And when he shows up to the court hearing, the judge then finds out, after the case started, that he showed up in a car that he had just stolen. And it's like, the guy's got balls. Like, what the hell, right?
And like right here, the 7th Court of Appeals was scheduled to hear oral arguments April 1st, and I think the mayor election is in May. So that's why he got himself on the ballot, to see if he could still go through with it.
Well, yeah, the court process is going to be slow.
Yeah.
So if he basically probably waited to the last day he could get the appeal started right before the election closed, so where they're no longer accepting new candidates.
There it is. That's why. Election day is May 2nd.
Yeah. But the day that you're able to register as a candidate is a different day. And so he probably got the appeal started just before registration closed, then registered, and now hoping that basically it's extended at least this long to where he could actually be on the ballot when they actually go to cast votes.
And here he is.
Excuse me.
2024, criminal conviction, 106 felonies.
Oh my gosh.
And a search warrant of his residence also found a fake insurance ID, a fake notary stamp, and a box of Dallas and Denton County ballot applications.
My goodness.
So it's
This
he
guy,
has a problem.
you know, he is a problem, but you gotta give respect.
He's not giving up.
He's not giving up. He, to the day that the jury was being called, he was trying to fight.
Look at him. He's trying. He's really trying.
Oh, that smile. That's, you can tell he knows he's screwed, but he just doesn't care. He's got the balls to keep fighting. So let's head up over there. Next article. So we've got some news here on the Charlie Kirk assassination, at least by the accused Tyler Robinson. So a handwritten letter could play a major role in Tyler Robinson court proceedings. Scroll on down, babe. A handwritten letter which prosecutors say demonstrates intent and premeditation could play a major role in proceedings. A newly released search warrant outlines several pieces of evidence against Robinson, including surveillance video, text messages, and a handwritten letter. Scroll on down. One can argue that it's maybe the most important kind of evidence that there is because it reveals motives, the thoughts, and the premeditation of the suspect. Quote, this is the letter. It says, quote, I am likely dead or facing legal prisons, lengthy, it's late, okay? Screw you.
Hey, I'm your wife.
Not you. I'm saying it to whoever's watching if they're judging me. Screw you. Alright. I am likely dead or facing a lengthy prison sentence. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I took it. Pretty much as good as a frickin' confession. Having it in writing in a handwritten note. I believe they said it was found at least in the possession, not necessarily on the person, but in the possession of his gay lover, as I think, talk radio referred to him as, Tyler Robinson's gay lover. That was hilarious. So scroll on down. This kind of evidence probably bolsters their decision to do that. Because this is a very good evidence in the death penalty phase. Yeah, so if you didn't know, the prosecution is seeking the death penalty. To get the death penalty in Utah, it has to be considered first-degree murder. And to be able to be considered first-degree murder, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt of premeditation, that this was an act the person thought about and then planned out and then executed. And this handwritten letter, I mean, I heard some other details in it. It doesn't show it in here, sadly. I'll have to see what I can find on it. But it was, the stuff I was hearing was pretty damning. It's like this may be an open and shut case for first-degree murder. And
Robinson's defense still does not want cameras to be in the courtroom.
Yep, they're still fighting it.
Why should that be allowed? He did a public assassination. If he did it, there was a public assassination.
Yeah, well,
the case should not be
in our Constitution. We've got the federal Constitution. We've got the right to a public and speedy trial. Now, getting the right to a public and speedy trial does imply that in theory you could have the right to a private trial. However, here in Utah, we also have a victims' rights law that was passed that basically it requires either speedy and public trials for the victims, but also giving leniency towards the victims and what they want. And that's one thing that Erica Kirk has asserted is her victims' rights here in the state of Utah. So they're kind of fighting back and forth on what's going to happen because the defense wants it to be private. They don't want the cameras because they already know he's going to lose. They just don't want to. They're trying to mitigate the fallout as much as they can to prevent the death penalty. That's basically their job, is to try and stave off death penalty. While Erica Kirk's side, the prosecution side, they're trying to protect Erica Kirk's right because she's also a victim of this, as well as her children. That they also have that right to see justice through, in a speedy and proper manner.
Simon of the Snowfield is a friend of John.
That's cool.
Yep.
There's a lot of friends of John.
Has an M name.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I might know who it is now. And the name makes sense.
You might want to say hi and say thank you for watching the show.
Hi.
I appreciate it.
Alright, so let's go ahead and hit up that next tab.
Okay, so this one's funny. And you might want to be careful.
We're going right into PG-13, maybe R-rated right now.
Luckily, we're only glancing at it and then we're moving on, right?
Oh, I don't know. We might be here a while. California chocolate spiked with Viagra ingredients recalled nationwide. Holy crap. Scroll on down. Let's get into this.
There's not much to look at.
A Northern California company that sells adult novelty products is voluntarily recalling 2 chocolate products found to contain potentially life-threatening amounts of prescription drug ingredients for erectile dysfunction.
There's not much more to talk about this.
Well, to be fair, there's not much of a better way to die for a man. Going out with one last final salute. Oh, man. That's, in all seriousness, that's a pretty dang big mistake. Like, if you're trying to have a special chocolate to help give you special time, don't overdose on it for one. But holy crap, they accidentally may have put too much in it that they might almost kill people with it. But hey,
so
one hell of a way to die.
If you buy anything like that, look carefully and make sure it's not recalled. We don't want you dying.
Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Oh, man. Alright, let's get on. Let's get on with the show.
This is a more serious note.
Oh, yeah, so these 4 British...
Yeah, they say they're British.
British men tried sneaking into United States through Canada.
And it was specifically in
First
Maine.
of all, I don't know any British people who are trying to sneak into the United States. Like, there are some who are trying to immigrate here because they like it here.
Hey, you have that Irish guy. We don't know if he's still down there in the detention center that doesn't want to go back to Ireland.
Yeah, and face the child support payments he probably back owes.
So
No.
he might be kind of considered British.
Well, don't say that to the Irish. You might lose your head.
Well, he doesn't want to go back, so apparently he doesn't consider himself Irish anymore.
Oh my goodness, there's probably no other group on earth that hates each other more the way the Irish and the British hate each other, except the Koreans and the Japanese. Like, they might be the only ones that hate each other just as much.
I thought the Scots hated the British more than the Irish.
The Scots hate everyone, but they're too drunk to care.
Okay.
Alright.
So we just kind of skipped
So,
here.
4 guys, where are their names? Go find their names. These are
Right here. there.
The very British names of Ali Mohammed, Ali Abdullah, Hamid Mohammed Nagy. Oh, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Nagy.
Oh, whatever. Ibram, whatever Khan. Khan's not bad. That was a character in an old movie. And Mohammed Sultan Saleh.
So these are all young.
Don't even know if I'm
military-
pronouncing it right. Honestly, don't care.
These are all young military aged, possibly men.
Yeah, so they pretended to be surprised that they were on U.S. soil, only to have it be discovered on one of their devices that they were recording and talking about, hey, we can now confirm we're now on U.S. soil. Yeah, we made it.
Yep, and they followed their footsteps, and they were near the border, the port of entry in Maine.
Yep.
So they knew where they were. A few hundred yards of the port of entry.
And there was someone in the U.S. waiting nearby ready to pick
Right
them
there.
up,
Nissan,
too.
a Nissan vehicle.
Following the apprehension of the four men, agents also located a Nissan vehicle that had reportedly run out of fuel along the Golden Road. The two U.S. citizens were inside the vehicle, which had been linked to earlier reports of a planned pickup. If they're U.S. citizens and they were trying to help these people illegally enter the U.S., denaturalize them and deport them too. They don't belong here. If you're gonna do that kind of crap to your own home country, you don't deserve to live in the country anymore. Get them out of here.
Well, also, if these guys...
If you can't send them overseas, send them to freaking Gitmo. I don't care.
If these guys were possible terrorists, they'd be accomplices.
Well, it would be effectively treason at that point. It'd be the closest thing to treason that we'd have.
Yep, and
In a while.
one of the occupants admitted the driver intended to pick someone up near the border.
Mm-hmm.
And right here, the fourth person in the list of names said that I can confirm you are now on U.S. soil. So either he's possibly been here before, or he had GPS and everything else to know where he was.
I'm on U.S. soil? Saleh responds. You are on U.S. soil, before adding, now we are in the U.S., and later stating, we just made it, baby.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Whew.
And the driver's phone had referenced arrival coordination with a person believed to be one of the four defendants on text messages. So they're going to get in trouble with the Department of Homeland Security.
It seems pretty cut and dry. Like, they're going to get convicted and thrown away.
Yeah.
Next tab.
We've had a bunch of that crap, which is not good right now. Didn't I just tell you we had a person in either the Air Force or the Navy that's been training China pilots?
Yep,
for a year
he's
to
getting
2
in
years?
trouble for that.
Yep.
I believe we mentioned that on other shows.
We're having a lot, and then they had someone in Arizona selling ammunition.
Oh, really?
A Marine.
Oh, yeah. No, that was the Marine. He had stolen a freaking anti-tank round for a javelin, and I believe it was a javelin that he took, and was trying to sell it.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell's up with that. That's some dumbass crap right there.
So here are some weird loopholes regarding voting.
What is it? Oh, yeah. RNC takes Virginia to court, blasts non-resident voting loophole in election fight. Yeah, so basically what this article sums up is if you're the children of parents who at one point lived in Virginia, and that was their last eligible voting location that they were registered to vote for, you can in turn register to vote for that state, for the Virginia election. So even if you have never lived in the state of Virginia, you could be voting in the Virginia state elections legally. Even though you've never lived there, it's like, what in the holy heck is going on? Why is it like that?
We understand military members doing this, but your children, You vote where you reside.
Well, most members of the armed forces actually have lived in the state they're voting in.
Yeah. So
They're just overseas and voting by absentee ballot.
I understand that, but not this situation. And here's the other kicker, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
The red.
In addition to Virginia, 27 other states permit non-residents to vote in both state and federal elections based on their parents' last place of residence. Yeah, we need to scrap those laws. Those laws are absolute
Which is where I
trash.
hear. The Virginia Constitution clearly states you must show proof of residency in order to vote in Virginia elections. And you need to close the loophole where people who have never even lived in the state or sometimes even the country, so they cannot register to vote at all. They're having people that don't even live in this country, that have never even been on U.S. soil, voting.
That's probably a lot less, though, but it still shouldn't be happening.
Well, it could be happening with all of these possible, we've heard rumors of this Chinese national who has tons of children via surrogacy. They're citizens. If they're old enough, they could be voting and never even been to the United States, other than being when they were born. And then shipped out.
Yeah. Gosh dang.
So I don't know. That's the
I should have drinking a Monster.
hard part.
That's what happens when you don't drink a Monster and your name's Kyle. You start shutting down. That's just what it is.
And that was... And here it is. Defendant Spicer has registered voters who stated on their registration forms, I am a U.S. citizen living outside the country. I have never lived in the United States. He has registered voters.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's go ahead and hit up that Not the Bee tab. Let's skip the Facebook one. Let's just go to the Not the Bee.
Okay, and this is another serious concern. There's nothing really much to look here, but we need to at least discuss this fact.
Yeah, so report 9% of all 2023 babies in the United States were to parents, or births in the United States were to parents who are not legally or permitted or permanently in the country.
320,000.
Yeah. Yeah, so a bunch of those are going to be the children of non-citizen residents, basically illegal immigrants. So
Tourist visas for having a baby that we've been discovering more.
well,
and more.
this most of these numbers are going to be the anchor babies or the attempted anchor babies.
Right here, and also pregnant tourists. That's
I'm getting to that. So most of these, as I said, are going to be just the illegal immigrants who are here having children. And then the rest of them, or there's at least the rest of them, a good number of that is probably the tourist, the pregnancy tourists, or also more specifically the birth tourism companies out of China.
Yeah, they've been finding they had a bunch in California, and now they're finding some possibly, I think, in either Minnesota or Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
It was up over there. They found some more over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, not too much to talk about specifically, but it is what it is.
But that's not good if it keeps compounding year after year after year. 9%, and the people, if the Supreme Court doesn't rule very good on this, we're going to keep having it happen, and then we're not going to have any United States citizens that actually live here and love our values.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the Supreme Court, they heard oral arguments recently on the birthright citizenship case from Trump, and they really need to rule in favor of Trump. Even if they go and split hairs, even if they split hairs but still rule in general in favor of Trump on it, they need to. If we allow, there's so much damage has been done to our country because of this that we haven't even realized. And this isn't even talking about the illegal immigrants who are having children here. This is just talking about the birth tourism companies from China. The amount of damage that has been done. Yeah, Turkey, but mostly the big issue is China, because they're the ones who are actually trying to do this for nefarious purposes.
I don't know. Turkey is Muslim. They could be doing it for nefarious purposes.
They probably are, but Muslims are just doing Muslim things, which isn't great stuff. But China, it's all very calculated and it's all very well planned out. This isn't accidental. The government wants these things to happen, and they're using it to their advantage as leverage against the United States.
And we're fine with you practicing your religion, but you do not force your religion on other people, and you do not go against our Constitution, because that's one big thing we agree with in our religion. You have to abide by the laws of your land.
Yeah. When it comes to the forcing, I guess it depends on what you mean. If we're banning other stuff that shouldn't be happening, absolutely. I don't care if it's their religious belief. If it doesn't align with Christian moral values, it's not supposed to be in this country in the first place.
Well, you and I already discussed it. We're not exactly comfortable with the halal meat because it's come out and exposed that the animals aren't properly stunned and they're slitting their throats and ripping them apart before the animal's even dead.
Yeah, well, also, if you go and look at what they consider cleanliness, I wouldn't trust anything that they make anyways. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get on to some happier topics. Moroni Channel, St. George, Utah hosts Easter interactive journey through Christ's final weeks. This is already over, but, you know, I saw it. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty freaking cool. I'm going to talk about this. So scroll on down.
Oh, we need to pull up the statue that has now been added to Temple Square.
We can do that later. Residents and visitors in St. George are invited to experience a unique and inspiring Easter event that brings the story of Jesus Christ's final week to life. From March 27th to April 5th, so it's already over, a local neighborhood is hosting a 15-station walk or drive-through journey designed for individuals, couples, and families of all ages. The experience encourages participants to slow down, reflect, and engage more personally with the Savior's life, sacrifice, and resurrection. So, yeah, freaking awesome.
Is that the point of Easter, is remembering
Yep.
his resurrection and the crucifixion and his suffering in Gethsemane for us?
Yep. No, this is pretty awesome that it looks like this is mostly just a neighborhood that decided to organize this together. And it's freaking awesome. This is actually something we might even want to try to go down for next year if they're doing it again. Hopefully they do, because it seems pretty cool.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Let's hit up that last tab. Let's do a quick review of all the temple open houses that are coming up. Here we go. Scroll on down. So today was the last day of the Linden, Utah temple. So that is now over. So if you didn't get to go see it, like me, I didn't get to go see it.
We are just too busy. We are hoping.
Yep. It is what it is. My dad was working there for the open house.
But we also had my brother with his quadruple bypass.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on lately. So scroll on down. Let's check out the other ones. So this temple one's also over. Yeah, as of today too, huh? Yep. Dedication's May 3rd. May 3rd is dedication of the Linden Temple as well.
Yep.
But hey, this new temple down in the Philippines, it's going to be dedicated and opened up for the members real soon. Another temple in the Philippines, because, you know, they're growing really crazy fast. This one is not started yet. The open house is 16th through May 2nd.
So in a couple days, it's going to be ready to be open.
So if you have the money, unlike me,
and a passport,
go check it out. If you want to give me the money to take my family to go see it, you're more than welcome to.
I would love to go see it. Look at that. That looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you'll see. One of the new temples in California is absolutely awesome. I love it. Scroll on down.
We need to save the money to go to the San Diego one or San Francisco
Well,
one?
the San Diego temple is it San Diego? Well, it's on here. So the Oregon temple, the Willamette Valley Oregon temple, April 23rd, later this month, is the open house, and it goes all the way to May 9th.
I like where it's a little bit darker and bold. It looks really pretty. I like it.
No, it's quite nice. Scroll on down. This one.
Yes.
The Yorba Linda California temple. This one's freaking awesome. Look
Same
at that.
thing like the Alamo.
Mm-hmm.
Looks beautiful.
It's awesome. I love that design.
I like this where it's a different color. It sticks out around the windows. It's beautiful.
They need to hire this architect more. This guy, the guy who designed this temple, this is absolutely stunning.
I love the red shingles because that would have been what they would have had. It also makes you think of kind of like Spain.
Well, that's what this is. It's the old Spaniard style here in the colonies, affected here in the Americas when they came over.
Less than a month.
It's all Spaniard. Yeah, it's awesome. So that opens up April 30th for the open house.
How many temples are in April?
A lot. Keep going down. Go on down. Let's keep going.
2, 3 already.
Cleveland, Ohio Temple. This one's opening up June 18th and going to July 3rd, just before the 250th of the U.S.
We need to pull up the full picture. You can't see it.
I don't know why this picture's cut off.
I want to look at the full
either
picture.
way, I do like it, though. That's a really cool image.
Come on.
Copy paste.
I did, but I'm also trying to navigate someone sleeping on me.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Nope. It does not.
There you go.
Oh, there it is.
There's the full
picture.
image. Yeah, it's gonna fight you trying to pull up the whole image, huh?
Okay, that's where it was still being built.
Yeah.
That still looks nice.
No, that's beautiful. It's a good temple. But that new California temple looks awesome. All right, scroll on down. There we go. San Diego, California temple.
San Diego, the one I would love to go see.
This one is one I would like to go see too. It opens up June 18th for the open house, and the open house closes on July 11th.
And there's the Angel Moroni.
Yep. No, this is an awesome temple. That was a pretty historic one too, for the growth of the church.
Yeah.
So scroll on down. We got a couple more.
I want to see this one. I love the spires.
I know, right? That is very in line with Cambodian architecture. When I've seen images of Cambodia, a lot of the more traditional buildings and architecture, that's exactly what it's like. And I love that they do that too with the temples.
I just realized Cambodia, that's one of the places the church has donated stuff to recently.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, the churches. I think the Cambodia is where they donated 2 hospital buildings.
Yeah, and a bunch of equipment.
So yeah, this open house August 5th. Go back up. August 15th to August 22nd. So relatively short open house. It's a small country. They're not expecting a lot of people to be there, so it'll probably just be open real quick.
But we still laugh at the street.
Yeah, Russian Confederation Street. I forgot about that. No, that is pretty funny. All right, scroll on down. Now for the grand finale. The Salt Lake Temple.
Has been announced.
Open house will be April 27th all the way through to October 27th. They're expecting massive crowds for a long period of time.
I think it starts the 5th, the day or so after conference, and then it ends a day or two before conference. And you need to register for tickets online.
Rededicate it. Yeah, the church is releasing an app when it comes to this. They're releasing an app for the purpose of managing the tickets. Because there's going to be so many people, they're going to have to be much more structured and organized on how and when tours are done to make sure they give everyone a chance to be able to get through.
And
a lot of these other temples that are much newer, they're not as popular to go to because they're just smaller local temples. You can just show up and go through a tour. But the Salt Lake Temple, though, the historic nature, they're expecting massive crowds.
And here are the statues I wanted to show
before
Easter that they got put on the temple grounds. Look at that.
Yep. No, that's a good statue.
Showing what Christ went through.
Yeah. And there's quite a few. There's quite a few new statues there.
And then this one, the suffering in Gethsemane.
Yeah, it's quite nice. They've got a lot of new statues up there, a lot of new art to look at. It's gonna be real fun to go to Temple Grounds this coming year.
Look at that statue compared to a person.
Yeah, all those guys are probably nervous as heck right now. Like, oh my gosh, I hope we don't freaking break this statue. So I guess the thing is, I've been putting big things like that into place before too, and none of it was art like this, and I was pretty nervous about it getting done right. These guys, I can only imagine how nervous they were about setting those statues.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a wonderful job.
Yep, and they'll be there. And I wonder if they're going to add any more statues. They have really been expanding the statues. I went there with your parents and the kids recently, and they had a couple of new statues in the area we could go.
Yeah.
Before we went there years ago. So it's nice that they keep expanding the statues. They keep increasing our knowledge, history, and they have art to go look at and help teach our children the history and what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up for the night. We had a good discussion for the most part. Covered a lot of topics over the last 2 weeks, and
Let John and Logan know you miss them.
no, I don't miss you, and I hope you both suffer.
With your personal stuff that you have to go through.
Absolutely suffer, because it would be fun to hear the stories when you get back. Real quick, a verse from Exodus chapter 34, verse 12. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. Kind of diving back into politics a little bit. The context is basically all the people, the lands that God's kicking out, not getting into covenants or promises with them unless they get ensnared. This is kind of like in a way you can interpret this as a libertarian verse of avoiding foreign entanglements. We need to be very cautious globally what kind of people we tend to associate ourselves with, but also here at home we need to do our best to kind of pick and choose who we're associating ourselves with and who we have surrounding us.
Yeah, because their habits could rub off on you eventually. It's called peer pressure, right? We learned about that in high school.
Yeah, absolutely. Peer pressure, though, doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But you have to be strong.
Sometimes you don't have to be strong, because I've met many, many, many vegans in my life, and, well, still not a vegan, so I think we'll all be okay. We'll all be okay. We'll have stamina and strength in our bones because we're not vegan.
And also, everyone, make sure you remember our country. It's the 250th anniversary this 4th of July. So let's make sure we're grateful for the 250 years we've had America, and let's keep it going for another 250 years.
Yeah.
You love that?
Absolutely.
A year 500 American flag?
Yeah, but I won't be around to add that one to my collection.
Hey, unless they make some kind of technology, they might be able to.
I honestly hope the second coming happens before that. Let's just get it over with already. Alright, you guys have a good night. I'm going to have a good night. At least I think I will. I don't even know if it's night right now. I'm kind of brain dead. So, we'll see you guys next time. Out.